Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2020 Lamborghini Sián Roadster. Now this was produced between 2020 and 2022, with 82 of them being made, 63 of which were coupes and 19 of these roadsters. And yeah, Sián means flash of lightning, which kind of hints at this kind of car's architecture and the kind of power plant that it's got going on, as this is Lamborghini's first ever hybrid. And yeah, it shares its engine with the Aventador SVJ, but now has titanium intake valves, a reconfigured ECU and a new exhaust system, which help to increase the power by 15 horsepower. But that's just in terms of the actual engine, because obviously this has an e-motor. Not quite like other cars, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, overall I do love the look of this car. It's very much what Lamborghini should be doing in terms of these mad, unique looking hypercars and supercars, rather than the more, quite frankly, more mundane Huracan, which I'm not a fan of. In terms of its looks overall, I think it's a little bit restrained, especially the standard version. But yeah, in terms of power, this has a 6.5 litre V12 naturally aspirated engine on the go, which in itself produces 774 horsepower. But then you include its 48 volt e-motor, which is attached to the gearbox, and that moves it up to 808 horsepower and 556 pounds-feet of torque overall. So yeah, that's a huge amount of power, easily the most powerful Lamborghini we've ever had. And yeah, it's also got a 7-speed automated manual transmission attached to the engine, and it also has an electronically controlled all-wheel drive system with a rear mechanical self-locking differential and rear wheel steering, all of which is there to help improve handling. The power for the electric motor is stored in a supercapacitor unit instead of a conventional lithium-ion batteries. This is purely so it's not got a huge amount of weight, and then also because supercapacitors also provide the power that little bit quicker, and they're also capable of providing more power. Like I said, for their they're able to provide like 10 times something the extra power over lithium-ion battery, while they're also a little bit quicker at getting that power to you, because it doesn't have to have the lithium-ion battery process to generate electricity. It's just electricity instantaneously. It's not having to be created. And yeah, you've also got better weight distribution due to the electric motor being in, and the supercapacitor being in the gearbox. And yeah, you've also got a regenerative braking system that helps generate enough of the energy to help recharge the supercapacitors as well. So this isn't a plug-in hybrid or anything like that. You're only going to get that electricity from what the car is doing. So yeah, and yeah, I think that's kind of basically what Ferrari did in that their hybrid cars, in that they're taking the technology not to be more economical or be more environmentally friendly. They're just making it, using it to make the cars faster and more powerful and the like of that, which is all fine and dandy, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, and as typical, you get scissor doors with this car. The interior is pretty much like the Aventador, but it's a little bit more tidied up, and yeah, got a really nice center console, which isn't overly large like some cars have, and yeah, just very nicely done on the interior. All very good as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, it's even got inlets at the rear that change according to the temperature, not the actual how fast it's going or anything like that, as it's got special paint that reacts to heat. When it heats up, it changes and opens up the valves, and yeah, provides better cooling and better aerodynamics, which I think is a really rather inventive way of doing it, quite frankly, as it saves on weight of electric motors or hydraulics or anything like that, and yeah, basically improves it in that regard. So yeah, this is a car that has become part of the game via the festival playlist due to Forza setting up a gift system where so many millions of cars were gifted, and yeah, you get an outfit, which was for the first 4.5 million, and then this car for the second 4.5 million. And yeah, it's a fantastic car, and I'm really glad they've put it in the game. So let's get out onto the open road and see what this car can do. So due to having an e-motor and hardly being the smallest of cars, this is a fairly weighty car at 3,827 pounds, which is a good couple £100 more than the Aventador S3J. But obviously this has more power and more torque as well. It's got 25 extra pound-feet of torque over the S3J, as well as, you know, 15 extra horsepower just in terms of the standard engine. So yeah, that means that this is really quick in a straight line. So let's get it down this drag strip, see what it can do, and then we'll go around the track. So yeah, it's got a really rather nice interior, as I said. The wing comes up at a certain rate of speed, but it will reduce once we get past a certain speed as well. And yeah, as you can see, this is no slouch. Properly quick, just all of that power, the instantaneous power as well from the electric motor, and that gearbox, which, like I said, is automated. So yeah, it knows when it needs to change up gear. I don't even think you really have to do much in of itself, quite frankly. And yeah, it's got that glorious sounding 6.5 litre V12, which we've heard in many a Lamborghini before, but yeah, certainly hasn't lost any of its, you know, theatre or general awesome noise, quite frankly, because yeah, we've got no turbochargers still on this car, or anything that's forced induction. It's just using electric motors to make it all the better. So yeah, let's see what the stats are like. So we're in top end of S1 class, and yeah, 8.8 speed and 8.3 acceleration are really good. The 8.1 braking, 8.1 launch and 8.0 handling are also all excellent, and yeah, they all combine to really make one of the best rounded supercars, hypercars out there. So yeah, it's not overly the best balanced car, as you saw there. 57% of its weight is at the rear, but then again, it is a mid-engine car. You've got that electric motor with the gearbox, which is no doubt at the rear as well, so it's bound to have a little bit of an imbalance. But even though those figures say that it's not the best balanced car, it doesn't feel it. So let's just listen to the car's engine for a little bit, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, glorious sounding engine, hilariously quick in a straight line, and it looks absolutely amazing as well. So it's pretty much a good all-rounder in a lot of ways. And yeah, 0 to 60 is dealt with in only 2.8 seconds, 0 to 100 is dealt with in 5.518 seconds, and it will go to an estimated top speed of 220 miles an hour. But in this game, we can get it up to at least 241. So yeah, that is easily the fastest Lamborghini, no matter which estimate out of those that we've ever had on either a Forza game or in real life. And yeah, this is absolutely excellent to drive. It's really rather satisfying. It's using that electric motor to fill in any of the gaps that the standard combustion engine isn't able to keep up with. And yeah, especially when it comes to, you know, gear changes or anything like that. So yeah, absolutely glorious car. And it shows that Lamborghini can do two sides of the same coin. They can have a serious performance machine, but you can also have one that looks great and is very theatrical in terms of how it sounds and how it looks. So yeah, they've done an excellent job with this. Just a shame really that it's not going to be a you know, an overly produced car. It's going to be extremely rare. All of the examples have already been sold. They're probably sold before it even came out, in fact. So yeah, that is a bit of a shame, but at least we get to try it out on this game, so we get a little bit of a hint of what this car is capable of in real life. And yeah, I love the gold wheels as well, and I just love the overall style of it as well. So yeah, fantastic effort from Lamborghini. Really glad to put it in this game. And yeah, what a rare car to put in this game as well. And as you can see, this is the actual 19th car in this, from this. Yeah, as you can see there on the inlet, on the rear wing bit there, number 19. So this is the 19th and final Roadster from the Sián range. So yeah, get out there and try it. It's in your gift box, and yeah, it's well worth just downloading it and trying it out, because it's a fantastic car, and I'm sure plenty of people out there will enjoy it as much as I have. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it if you've already tried it, but nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.